So this is a story about cats. I hope you love cats. I certainly love cats. I love having cats. And this is a really wonderful story about cats called Mr. Pusskins that I'd like to read to you. And look, here he is climbing up the wall. He's a little upset. So here's the story of Mr. Pusskins. This is the story of a little girl called Emily and her dear cat, Mr. Pusskins. Emily adored Mr. Pusskins. Each morning, she would invent fun games for Mr. Pusskins to play. In the afternoons, she'd brush his long fur coat and tell him, "Oh, Mr. Pusskins, what a handsome boy you are. I do love you ever so much." And each night, Emily would snuggle up in bed and read Mr. Pusskins a special story. But Mr. Pusskins never listened. The girl's constant babbling, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah, bored his whiskers off. He wanted more than this in his dull life. So one night, he left. He went places he wasn't meant to go and did things he wasn't meant to do and made friends with the pesky cat gang. There's the gang, all there. Life without Emily was such naughty fun. Meow, meow, meow. Oh, they're yelling, and the people in the houses are saying, "Shh, be quiet, pipe down." They didn't like all that noise. But time passed and things changed. The rain fell and an icy wind blew. The things Mr. Pusskin wasn't supposed to do weren't fun anymore, and his new friends weren't really very nice. How lonely it would be, how lovely it would be to have someone brush his fur and tell him how much they loved him. He felt all alone. Then down the gray streets fluttered a tatty old poster. It was a picture of Mr. Pusskins. He stared at the photo. What a bad-tempered cat he looked. Emily had given him everything a cat could ever dream of, but he had never been nice to her. How sorry he felt. Mr. Pusskins found a phone. He dialed the number from the poster and waited anxiously. Someone answered. "Meow," whispered Mr. Pusskins in a very sad little voice. "Mr. Pusskins, is that you? Oh, thank goodness," said Emily. "Wait there, I'll come and get you." Mr. Pusskins sat patiently. Would Emily find him? Did she still love him? He waited and waited, but Emily didn't come. Then, from over the mountains, he heard a car. Mr. Pusskin's heart leapt. It was Emily, his dear Emily, was coming for him. The car got nearer and nearer and nearer and then sped straight past. "Meow," wailed Mr. Pusskins. "Emily doesn't love me anymore." But then, brum! The car screeched to a halt and Emily jumped out. "Mr. Pusskins, my beautiful Mr. Pusskins," she tried. "I didn't recognize you." Emily scooped up her dear cat. At last, they were together again. This is the end of the story of a little girl called Emily and her dear cat, Mr. Pusskins. Mr. Pusskins adores Emily. Every evening he cuddles her and purrs gently while she reads to him. Now both Emily and Mr. Pusskins realize how lucky they are to have each other. The end.